Hi, my beautiful souls. Thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. Hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. I notice a lot of people watch my videos, but they're not hitting the subscribe button or like button. If you're watching my channel and you like my content, hit the like button. If you don't care for it and you're just here to be nosy, then hey, watch on, right? So this is about the stimulation. How do we get out the stimulation? Okay, so the stimulation is the stimulation is already in place, right? So when our souls, our spirit body enters the physical plane of existence, okay, the physical, the earth plane, okay, um, these avatar bodies, right? Um, we Okay, so how we get trapped is when we come in and out. Okay, so I'm gonna explain. Okay, I was channeling my dad yesterday. I was talking to him. It's very interesting because my dad was always been psychic. My mother has always been psychic. Okay, my both of them, and I'm surprised because they're both Scorpios. Yesterday was my dad's Earth Strong. On the other dimensions, we'll say dimensions or other planes or universe, it's affinity. Okay, you guys, it's literally affinity. Okay, you can be on different dimensions when you leave the physical body. Okay, so how I look at it and how I see it and how I perceive it, how I get the information. Okay, so what it is it's a will. I always seen the will, right? So what they need the souls to come back in. Okay, so what they'll do is they'll erase your whole memory. Okay, they'll erase your whole memory. They'll make you see like your whole life in front of you, right? Now this is a part of the stimulation. Okay, where you'll see your whole life play out in front of you. Okay, I have actually been outside my physical body so many times, where I have seen this one time. Okay, so where I see my heart muscles, it was interesting. It looks like a strand of hair, Okay, so if you want to say near death experience, it was kind of like that. But you don't die. Okay, death is a um, a lie. Okay, death is a lie. Okay, you transcend and ascend. Okay, and you transcend and ascend to different dimensions or different planes of existence. Everybody's not going to the same place. Okay, all right. Now, how they trap you and keep you in this loop. Okay, so it looks like a wheel. It looks like astrology wheel to me. It kind of looks like the CERN, but just put the astrology signs on it, right? That's what it looks like. Okay. Um, so what they do is they'll have somebody greet you, right? So let's look at it first as religion. Okay. So whatever religion you are, you're going to see that God. So if you're Catholic, you're going to see that Jesus. If you are Mormon, Jehovah, or Muslim, whatever your belief system is out here, you're going to see that entity, right? That entity will look like something familiar, right? Like that Jesus that you've been seeing all your life, right? But say that Jesus is not that Jesus, okay? That is a false reality or false Jesus that they're showing you to make you believe like, oh, you're walking to Jesus and he's hugging you, okay? That is not real. That is false, okay? So whatever religion you're in, you're going to see, if you're Buddha, you're going to see the Buddhist gods. If you're Hindu, whatever you are out here, you're going to see that um, religion that you grew up with all your life seeing. So if you've seen a Buddha all your life, when you cross out, you're going to see a Buddha. You're going to see your family members. Now, remember, it's false. In this simulation, it's false. Okay? They're going to show you everything that looks familiar to you while you're on the denser plane. Okay? We can call the denser plane the earthly plane. Okay? It is not real. So say your mom cross, your dad cross, and you believe that they're going to be crossing you over, they're coming for you, they're going to cross. I've seen this happen, okay, during my readings. It's not the actual person, okay, that you believe it is. So remember, if you have a religion, the religion is to keep you on the loop. This wheel is constantly turning. There's souls that are entering and there's souls that are exiting, okay? So the souls that are entering are recycled souls, okay? The souls that are exiting are also recycled souls. So they keep recycling over and over, okay? That's how they keep you in the simulation, okay? So when you exit out the physical body, okay? Physical, okay? This is why when we say our ancestors, right? We need to be mindful because you are the ancestor, right? But you're going to see, okay, so religion, you're going to see whatever Buddhist, whatever you, Jesus, that white Jesus, black Jesus, whatever, you're going to see that when you cross out. And you're going to believe that is the real Jesus or the real whatever. That is false, okay? That is false. It's a projection. Okay, it's the stimulated projection. Okay, we're going to get to who's running it towards the end. Okay, so it's a stimulated projection to bring your soul back into the circle, the cycle. Okay, so what it looks to me is a will. Now the will, it looks like the zodiac will to me. Okay, it's always looked like that. It's always turning, and this is why they use religion, because they want, so when you exit out and you're a religious person and you say, oh my gosh, that's the Jesus that was hanging in my wall, that's the Jesus that I've always seen, that's the Jesus that I've known. um I'm talking about visual, okay, listen, visual, okay, that is false, okay, that is a projection or a reflection. It's not real. Okay, they're going to show you your whole life in front of you. Okay, that is a projection. It's not real. Okay, now did you go through those stages? Yes. Okay, they're going to say you need to come back in to help somebody else. Okay, this is what they're going to say, or you need to come in to help the earth, the denser plane of existence. Okay, that is all false. That is all a projection. Okay, that's religion. Okay, so whatever religion you see, you're going to see that um, person, or you're going to see that. So when you exit out the physical, the denser plane of existence, you'll say you're Buddha. You're going to see the Buddhist there. Okay, that is not going to be real. Okay, it's just a projection. Okay, of the stimulation. Okay, so then family members, your dad just passed, right? You're sad that he left, and you will never see him again. That's false. Okay, so when you exit out, the first thing you see, what is your father, right? Somebody you love, somebody you cared about, right? But that is not your father. That is a projection and a reflection of your father. Okay, or your mother, or your sister, or your brother, or your child. Okay, and a lot of people, they get trapped back in where they believe that's them, and they go with them, and then they come right back in that will, that astrology will. Okay, that is a projection. It's false. Okay, now I'm going to tell you how you know it's real. Okay, guys listening, put some hearts, hit that like button. I'm gonna wait for some more people to come in. Give some love to me, you guys. Okay, I show you guys love all the time, gratitude and love. Okay, I'm not getting paid for this. Okay, I'm doing this because I know when I exit out of here, I'm not coming back to this denser reality. Okay, it's not happening. Okay, I'm not getting tricked. My dad didn't get tricked. I'm not getting tricked. So my dad actually exited out, and the first thing he seen was his mother. Okay, was not his mother. The first thing he also seen was my great grandmother, and he seen his whole life review. Okay, his whole life. Okay, from a child, from baby to the time he exit out. Okay, now he did meet my grandmother and my great grandmother. Okay, now listen to this. Okay, So then he seen Jesus, right? He knew that it wasn't real. He knew it was a projection in a hologram. Okay, thank you. Hologram. Come through, Poppy. Hologram. So instead of going towards them, he went the opposite direction. Okay. When he went to the opposite direction, that's when he encountered my Wella, my great grandmother. Okay. So he is on a different dimension. Okay. Now, when they say you choose to come back in, okay, there is some falseness to that. Okay. There is some falseness to that. Okay. They come back in to be your spirit guide to help you. Okay. There is some falseness. Now, also with angels, be careful with that. Okay. Because some of the angels was actually false. Okay. So you don't go to what's familiar, you go to what is not familiar. Okay. And it will take you to what is familiar. Okay. You got to go past the unknown to get to the known. Okay. You don't go to the known to get to the known. You go to the past, you go past the unknown to get to the known. Okay. So remember this: religion, family members, even children. You might feel so bad. Oh my God, my child passed. I just want to be with my child, and I see my child, and my child's so familiar, and I just want to be with my child. I don't care where my child takes me. That child can bring you back in. Okay. Now, that is the falseness of the simulation. So you go to the unknown that will take you to the known. You don't go to the known to take you to the known. You go to the unknown to take you to the unknown to take you to the known. That's why in the spiritual community, when you're at 1212, when you're doing true spiritual work, there's no age on other dimensions. This dimension is the most densest dimension. Okay. This dimension is the only dimension with age in time. When you leave the physical body, there is no time. Okay, there is no time. There's not even a concept of time. Okay, time doesn't exist. Okay, it only exists. Remember this. Remember I said this. It only exists in lower densities. Okay, time only exists in lower densities. Okay, don't go to something that's familiar. Go to something that is unfamiliar. Okay, just like science has to have evidence. Okay, that's why many scientists don't get far in their life, because they don't go past the unknown. Okay, the unknown is where you sound batshit crazy, um but you're not. You're just seeing past the lower densities. Okay. So the stimulation, the stimulation it looks like a computer system too. But to me it looks like and I believe in the future they've been using this, and the technology that's out is more advanced. They're just slow. Like each time they're giving us a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Okay, this technology has already been here. It's ancient. It's more advanced. It always has been advanced. They're just giving us a little bit at a time. Okay, because if they gave us everything at once and we could really see everything without outside the stimulation, then some people will go mad. Okay, that's why a lot of people that have a spiritual awakening or kundalini, they call it kundalini experience, they go mad because they are actually, and it doesn't look good. Okay, each time you ascend or transcend. So how you get out the stimulation is it's mostly consciousness. Okay, so consciousness, being consciously aware. That's why I say aware consciously is so important. Okay, understanding that you are in a stimulation, everything that is happening around you is think of it like a show or a production, and nobody in the production is real. Okay, the only thing that is real is you. Okay, think of it like that. Okay, and that is how you get out the stimulation. Okay, everything you see, everything you hear is not real. Okay, 15-15. Okay, since they want to use time. And only reason they're keeping time or they use time is to keep you trapped in the stimulation. Okay. And they use it to manipulate the stimulation. That's why they have birthdays. There's no birthdays on the other side. Okay. They don't even age over there. Okay. It depends on where you go. Okay. Everybody's not going to the same place. Okay. Now, this is just on stimulation. Okay. Now, somebody's controlling this thing. Okay. Now, when I was telling my dad, I've encountered these beings, okay, but I don't believe it's just one beings. It's multiple beings, okay, multiple, okay, multiple facets and multiple beings, and some of these beings, some of you guys may have you have had contact with, okay, but you don't know that you have had contact with them. Okay, so when they talk about aliens, you are the aliens. You are the ancestors, and you're talking to yourself on a higher conscience. You're talking to yourself in other dimensions, because you can be in multiple dimensions at once, my friends. Okay, remember, the earth dimension is a false reality. Okay, it's a stage, it's a stimulation. So when we say stimulation, right, so when you have that experience, like, I did that, I remember doing that, because you already did it. But what happens is they wipe your memory so you don't remember, because if you remember, you would be like, what is going on? Why am I here? Why am I repeating this? Why am I doing this over again? Okay. And then they'll switch up your family members. Okay. So you're going to go, remember, the only thing that is real, remember this, you're not even real, but you have to perceive yourself as real. Because if not, you'll go crazy. You'll go mad. You're like, how am I even in this physical body? So you have to stay sane in some way. And when some people wake up and they realize this, they go mad. Because they're like, what body am I in? Where am I at? Oh, I remember I was in Florida and I woke up. Well, before I went to bed that night, it was nighttime. And I was like, night is not even real. It's not real. They cloak. The sun's not real. There is original sun. The moon that they placed here is not even real. Because I remember the time where they placed it. That was during the Atlantean time. They placed that false moon here. Okay, nobody's been to the moon. Okay, it's false. It's not real. It's all a hologram. So what they're going to do in the future? This is why I said you need to have code words. Okay, so with your family, your code word could be red, blue. It could be, have a code word. Okay, so so what they'll do is they'll put a projection in front of you, right? You'll think that it's your child saying help, 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 or your grandchild saying help, 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 and you remember, oh, we had a code word in our family, and you would say, oh, what's the code word? Okay, and then the person would say the code word. But the problem with that is our phones are antennas, our televisions are antennas, so they are listening in. Okay, like the antennas on your Wi-Fi, the old boxes. There once was a time, and the time is it's not just once a time. Telekinesis is very real. Okay, telekinesis, telepathic communication, um, is still real. You still can do it. Okay. So they will make something appear in front of you. So you have a child, right? Her name is Sarah or Sue, and Sue is outside crying, and you believe that is Sarah or Sue, and she's crying. She's saying, "Mommy, Daddy, come help me." And you say to Sue, "Sue, what's the code word?" And Sue says, "Blue." And the code word is green. So you don't go and help her because you know that's false. It's fake. Okay. So this is going to happen. It's already been here. It's been here. Wow, it's been here. It's oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how long it's been here. Okay, it's been here. Okay, so the way we see technology is already advanced. It's been advanced. Okay, they're just recycling the technology back in. Okay, um, so we don't under some we so when our memory is wiped. Okay, so we don't remember, right? Um, our past life or what we did. They wipe it clean so you don't remember, right? In that wheel, that you come in, that zodiac wheel that just keeps turning and turning with the time. The time I can hear just click. The time just going with the time. Um, that is for them to have the soul. So you are actually, if you think about it, you are were captured. Okay, we're definitely captured. I remember going outside my well, a lot of times I go outside my physical body. Um, and I see things and I'm like, this is all a lie. This is none of this is real. But as long as you can observe it or measure it, it is real. But it's not. But you have to have observer to the reality, or you have to be observer to your reality to understand that it's real. Okay. Um, so you always have to go to the unknown go to the known. It's not going to the known to go to the known. It's going to the unknown to get to the known. Okay. This is how our souls are being trapped. Okay. And recycled. Okay. I say recycled. Like um, you recycle paper and then you reuse it again. But the technology has always been advanced. It's always been here. Um, and they know this, they use it. So they give you little by little. The technology is already more advanced than what we are actually seeing with our physical or what we can perceive with the physical. And the reason why they keep you in this loop and they keep you interested in certain topics, or keep your focus, your attention on certain things is to distract you from what you're really supposed to be seeing. Okay. So it is a trap. It is a trap. Um, and if they want to say aliens, we're all aliens. It's technology so advanced. Yes. And they only give you little by little because if they give you too much at a time, you're not going to be able to take everything in. And as the consciousness, this is why I say being aware, awareness is the most important thing. Not just being consciously aware, but just being aware of what is going on is very important. Okay. Um, of the stimulation. And that is how you exit the stimulation, is that you're aware of, okay, they're going to show me something that's familiar. They're going to show me a family member. They're going to show me this. They're going to show me that. It's a projection. Everything's a projection. I remember when I looked up and I said, my God. There's water above me. And I heard, look up. And I looked up and I seen water. And then that night, I was like, it's not even real. We're not really sleeping. Okay. It's kind of like a coma state. You know, people go into a coma state and they're sleeping and we're actually traveling when we're sleeping. We're not really sleeping. Um, my God. Um, I remember that video I did that night. I'm like, it's not even real. It's not. It's it's a part of the stimulation, a part of the projection, a part of the stimulation and false reality. And some people can't even perceive that. But it's real, my friends. Okay. This is what I got on the stimulation. This is Jennifer Felix. So what it looks like to me, always look like to me. That's why I laugh about it. It looks like a wheel, and the wheel keeps turning and turning. It kind of looks like the CERN, right? But it's different, and the wheel keeps turning and turning and turning, and then souls keep entering and then exiting, entering and exiting. Um, and I see the astrology, the zodiac signs. So that's why I say time is an illusion. People say, well, Jen, time is real. No, time is not real. Time is real because you can see it and you can measure it, but it's not real. Okay. I had somebody on my page that claims to be a psychic, and she said, oh, time is real. Because you're on a denser reality, my friend. Okay. It's not real once you leave this denser reality. Okay. You understand that time is illusion. Time was made by man to keep you in the illusion, okay, or in delusion. Oh man. So the only thing that is real, um, because we have to observe. We have to have somebody observe our presence or observe us physically, so it can feel real, but it's not real. Okay. So this was on stimulation. Thank you guys. Once again, Jennifer Felix, hit the like button, give me some hearts, show me some love, comment below. This is why some of you guys will have a deja vu. This is why some of you guys will be pushed out of your timeline. We call it quantum jumping. We've been doing this forever. There was a time where we didn't have time. We just would telepathically or telekinesis communicate. And if you think about it, think of the movie Avatar, right? How they left from the ship and they went into this body. The guy went into the body, the physical body. That is basically what it is, okay? I'm not laughing, but it's funny because I remember my first time realizing, and I was born a psychic, so I'm like, I've been here. This is not real. Okay. I remember that first moment. It was so profound. I was in Florida. I got up in the morning. Well, it started that night. I looked at night and I'm like, this don't seem real. This all seems false. Um, None of it seems real. And then I got up and I was like, I was so, I wouldn't say shocked, but I just stood there for a minute and I was like, I was here. How am I here again? How is that even possible? Okay. So I started questioning everything. Everything and everything and anything I started questioning. Um And that day was so profound. I share that video all the time because it was so it was so real to me, because I actually got up from the bed, I walked in the living room, I went to the kitchen, but I've already done it. Okay, I've already been there in Florida at the same location, the same spot, doing the same thing. How's that even possible? All right, you guys, this is Jennifer Felix. Thank you guys so much. Stimulation. I will always talk about this because I believe that I know, not I believe, I know we're in a simulation. Okay. And how to get out of the simulation is consciously, awareness consciously of being aware that you're in it, so you can get yourself out of it consciously. So you're not consumed by the projection or the artificial reality, because we're in a projective. So remember the old projectors, right? So when you look at the sky, you're really looking at the water. When you're looking at the water, you're really looking at the sky. It reflects off of each other. Okay. So the moon was placed here by some other beings, which I know who they are because I remember them placing it there. Okay. And I talked about it in my past videos. My gosh, it's crazy. But yeah. So this is my video on stimulation, you guys. You guys can comment below. This is Jennifer. I'm sending you guys nothing but love, 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 love. And I hope one day that you can realize that you're in a simulation and somebody's operating the simulation, and souls are being trapped and held, literally trapped, okay? Trapped. And to break free of it is being consciously aware, or awareness of it, that this is the simulation, okay? That's how you escape it, okay? All right, you guys. Thank you, guys. Bye.